So Doug, your second year in the program, so how are you different this year than last year?
Even though we have a new offensive coordinator and everything, same pretty much schemes and everything that we've had, and just knowing everybody around me now, especially like the front five, is it's very helpful, and that's really about it.
Is it nice to play without a cast?
Oh, it's been great so far. Through the spring and through fall camp so far. It's been a lot nicer.
You feel like you didn't really get an opportunity to show people because you basically played one arm?
Yeah, I got a lot to prove this year. I played half the season a little bit handicapped, so I think this season's going to be different.
You talked about the new offensive coordinator, new scheme. No differences at all, at least for the offensive linemen. Nothing really, or is it small, subtle things? Or what?
I mean, yeah, there's some small, subtle things within there, but offensive line play is pretty much going to be the same thing. Everywhere you go, it's just learning the new calls, or there's a little bit new schemes in there, but not too much.
Why is this offensive line going to be better than it was last year?
I think our chemistry is just so much better up front. You can tell the room has changed a lot. Since I got here, last winter or 2 winters ago. I mean, just the chemistry within there. We're all so close now, and we all work so hard together throughout the off season. I think it's just a whole different room.
Growing up in West Virginia, what does the backyard brawl mean to you? What do you remember watching it while growing up, and what are you looking forward to?
To be honest, growing up, didn't watch it too much. Grew up down in the southern part of the state and was a little bit of a Ohio State fan growing up and a Marshall fan. So really didn't know too much about it. I just know it's a big rivalry.
Played in rivalry games. You played at Virginia Tech. What is different about rivalry games than just any other game? How do you approach it?
Yeah, you got to approach it the same way, but there's a little extra chip on your shoulder, that they just think they're better than you. And it just gives you a little bit more of an edge to go out and just practice that much harder for a rivalry game.
Has there been a certain buzz around the team leading up to it, knowing that this is the first game of the season?
Oh yeah, there's definitely. We've had the countdown for it, ever since 200 and some days. So we've definitely been looking forward to this one.
Adjustment for you with the new tackle beside you this year? Are you used to it yet, or is it still a work in progress?
Right now we're still working on it. I still got 2 different people beside me fighting for the position and everything. I think they're both doing a great job, and I think it's a really tough competition between them right now. And there's a few things they do different, so having to adjust to those a little bit depending on who's beside me. But besides that, I think they're doing a great job.
You communicate to them, or they communicate to you? How's the communication go between them?
Really, all 5 guys are trying to communicate with each other what we're seeing every play. So, we're always trying to communicate.
Those 2 guys, Jaquay and Brandon, what are the nuances? How are they different?
Quay's a little bit of a bigger body. He got longer arms, and it shows a little bit in the pass game. And Yates is just has faster feet, I would say, and he's just a little bit quicker, that much quicker off the ball.
So maybe one a little bit better pass pro, one a little bit better run blocking, would you say?
Yeah.
What was it like being the new kid on the block last year, and how has that changed now?
Just being on new kid on the block, it was pretty much like being a freshman all over again. Trying to gain everybody's trust, showing everybody that I deserve to be here, deserve to play and stuff. And now, pretty much us just taking over the O-line. All 5 of us trying to take over the offense, just trying to get what we need to be done.
Committer mentioned it was kind of the focus of the guys as a group get a little bigger. I'm not sure that's the case for you. Did you feel like you needed to get any bigger? I know some of the guys around you felt like they did.
Not any bigger per se, but I definitely needed to lower the body fat percentage, which I did, and really just maintain weight, which is what I did throughout the off season.
I know in James's case, he felt like he needed to be a little bit heavier to get a little more push.
Right.
And so your deal, you're okay with where you're at?
Yeah, I'm sitting about like 320, and that's what I was all throughout the season and everything. So to maintain that weight and just lower that body fat percentage was mainly my goal.
Can you go through the year? I mean, I know August 1st is different than November or whatever. Do you keep it throughout the year, or do you have to work pretty hard to stay where you're at 320?
Yeah, it takes a little bit of work, working with Haley and Coach Mike, trying to maintain that weight, making sure hydrated and eating enough. So really it's just working with Haley and Coach Mike.
But across the board, from tackle to tackle, you guys are bigger than you were last year?
Yeah, I would say so. We've all put on some weight, some good weight.
Yeah.
We've worked really hard this offseason. I think you can really tell.
Freshman teammates coming into camp, do each one of you all, the veterans, kind of split up a guy to take under your wing a little bit? How do you all help them get comfortable, learn those first lessons?
Yeah, I would say it's more of like, the O-line is more of a unit. So, everybody's in there is trying to help them out, even the young guys, not even just the first-year players. I would say it's everybody in the room just trying to help everybody out. Like even during practice, if we see, hey, your step was too short on this play, you missed with your hands on this play, like we'll communicate with each other no matter who it is, really.
Is that a grind for them to get through? I mean, watching your drills, there's so many things that are 2 steps, 3 steps, one snap of the ball, just those first things. Is that tough, and does that make you really anxious to get into full-scale scrimmage where you can go and actually execute the entire play?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a struggle. O-line work is just really just trying to get those fundamentals down to where you really can't mess up. It's a repetitive process, but once you get those repetitive things that we do each and every day, it helps us a lot throughout the games and scrimmages.
Of all of the new and different things you worked on last year, you played a lot of the season next to a true freshman too.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like working on Wyatt last year and trying to be, a good influence on him at that spot?
Yeah, so I've known Wyatt since we were 6 and 7 years old, so it really wasn't that much of a hassle to be alongside him, and we played together in high school, so we knew each other. But the main thing was just just giving him any tips that I could, helping him out when I could, and during the games, just always trying to communicate with him and make sure that he understood his assignment and what I had to do as well.
It's not the same now, but like the competition at right tackle is, you're kind of, I don't want to say you're in charge of it, but like you're going to have a lot of shaping from one play to another in practice on what those guys do. Do you find any similarities about trying to help those guys along? And it's kind of new positions for them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a very similar thing. I don't know if Yates has ever played on the right side. I know Quay is pretty new to it as well. So also just relaying to them, what we have that play or what they have. Trying to make sure that they understand and that there's no confusion up front.
Do you find it kind of amazing that there's 5-man offensive line and 3 of you might be from West Virginia?
Yeah, I think it's a really special thing, honestly.
How do you think that happened? I mean, that 3 guys from within the state who, doesn't produce very many Division I players would wind up together with maybe the team on their shoulder.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's been great to have those 2 other guys in there with me. Frage is awesome to live with him, and Wyatt grown up with. So just to see all 3 of us from the same state, especially West Virginia, is just something special, I'd say.
Who's the hardest guy on the defensive line to block?
I'd say it has to be Dante. Yeah, for sure.
How have you seen him get better? I know we keep hearing. What do you see from having to block him every day?
So throughout the fall, just this fall camp, he's reading the offense a lot better. So just him noticing little things like, hey, your stance is more staggered this time, or even just the finer details he's getting a lot better at. And his quickness off the ball is just next level, and it's pretty tough to block him whenever he's rolling that day.
Doug, you talked about West Virginia guys, but specifically Spring Valley guys. What is it about it? You go through Grayson and Corbin now. What is it that has helped that your high school, produce so many?
Yeah, I think it was just just the one person that started all. Riley Locklear, whenever I was there, really got the ball rolling for us and got a lot of eyes there. and it helped me get noticed, and then it helped Wyatt get noticed, and then Wyatt to Corbin, and then also for me it helped Grayson and just everybody. So really, I would have to say like just the eyes that were already there.
Played a lot of college football in different places. A guy like Jordan White, what value does he bring? You hear the phrase Swiss Army knife. What does he bring to the table?
I mean, Jordan White's just really good player. I mean, he's athletic. He's so athletic, and he's works his butt off all the time. And he really is. He's really our Swiss Army knife. He can play any three of those interior positions, and he's just really good to have within the room. I think he brings a lot of energy as well to our unit, and just for him to be in there and know all three spots and be able to do anything we need him to do is great.
Pound for pound, maybe the strongest guy? Heard that. Don't know?
I don't know.
All right. Somebody threw that out there that he was one of the stronger guys.
He is one of the stronger guys, but I don't know.
Who would you say is the strongest in your opinion?
It's close. It's close between Jay White, Frazier, and Goodmitter. They're all up there.
Okay. Those would be the top three in your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll pry the roommate situation. Obviously, Jarrett's left. Is it still Grayson, Zach, you, and?
Yeah, it's Grayson, Zach, me, and then Goose moved in.
Okay. So you changed out one quarterback for another.
Yeah, we did.
So somebody to pick on?
Yeah.
Can Goose cook?
No. Me and Goose are pretty much the only ones. We're door dashing a lot, so everybody else is in there cooking, and we're mostly door dashing food.
So you didn't add a cook to the mix?
No, we did not.
Just another hungry mouth.
Oh yeah.
Can he play golf?
He can. Goose can strike the ball pretty well.
He can.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else for Doug? Thank you, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.